Alright guys, before we jump into this video, I just want to say this is just a list of fighters I can't wait to use in UFC 4 that are either not on UFC 3 or they are not updated on UFC 3. I also want to just ask you guys a quick question. I'm probably going to do this at the start of each video because I've got so many questions. Who do you think will be the highest rated fighter in the entire game out of everyone? Who do you want to be the highest rated fighter and who do you think will be the highest rated fighter? Take into consideration all the undefeated fighters. Have a think. I'm thinking maybe Khabib or Israel Adesanya, but let me know what you guys think. Enjoy the video, guys. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And I just want to say quickly before we jump in, thank you for the support on the recent videos. We've been hitting about 100 views in less than 20 minutes, which is just fucking insane, bro. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, thank you for the support. There's going to be some different stuff. There'll probably be a UFC career coming soon. A UFC 1 career, I should say. Just in the background, we've got some UFC 3 gameplay. I play so much of that game. I just have like so many fights pre-recorded. It's ridiculous. But we're going to be talking about fighters I can't wait to use. And I asked you guys on Twitter as well, and I got a couple of responses. In UFC 4, fighters that either don't exist in UFC 3 or their models are terrible in UFC 2, or we've never experienced them at their full capability. That's the word I was looking for. So we're going to start with fighters that don't exist at all, and then some fighters whose stats just don't do them justice or who I want to see updated. We're going to start off right away with the most obvious one, which I believe is the most obvious one, and that is Alexander Volkanovski, featherweight champion. How can you not have one of the champions on there? There is another champion that obviously isn't on there, but we'll get to that in a moment. He's someone who's great. I feel like he is going to be like a stronger Aldo. He has those good leg kicks when he fights. He's got big power in those hands. He used to be what, a 216-pound rugby player. Dude's got power, and there's no doubt about that. He's one who I definitely want to give a go. Whether or not his little size will hold him back, but he's got long arms. I think he's actually got quite long arms for a featherweight. Why do I feel like he has almost the same arms as Max Holloway, who stands quite a bit taller than him? Next up is obviously another champion that we're missing, and that is Petr Yan, who has just become the bantamweight champion after finishing Aldo in, I believe, the 5th round. That should have been stopped a lot earlier because Aldo was a bloody mess, which I'm a bit gutted about because I like Aldo, and it's a shame to see him kind of go on this streak where he's not the champion. After my whole UFC fan life, the whole time I've been a fan, he was a champion for me. It was always just the featherweight was Aldo's division, light heavyweight was John Jones's, heavyweight was Cain Velasquez. It was always like that for me. And middleweight was Silva, and then it's all just changed. I don't like the change, bro. Admittedly, I think it is Petr Yan, or yeah, I don't think it's Peter Yan. Petr Yan. I like him. I think he's a great fighter, and what he done to Uriah Faber was brutal. And he brutalized Aldo as well. And I feel like most people that come up against him, he's going to brutalize them too. I think he will even beat Henry Cejudo if Cejudo comes out of retirement. But Cejudo's full of surprises, so you never know. But I can't wait to fight as him. I think he's going to be quick. And I love playing in the bantamweight division as well. You've got fighters like Cody, Dillashaw, Sterling, great fighters like that. Next up is Macy Barber, who I believe is a bantamweight. She's 8-1. She recently lost, but that's because I believe she tore her ACL. I think it's ACL or MCL in her fight. But she was 8-0 before that, and she was on an absolute finishing streak as well before that fight. The person she fought, Roxanne Modafferian, I feel like took it lightly on her. Once she knew her leg was gone, she took her down. She didn't put too much punishment on her. She just done enough to win the fight by decision, because I feel like she probably could have really just booted her in the leg and caused her some really career-damaging injuries. But she didn't, which, nothing but respect for her for that. But I'm looking forward to playing as Macy Barber. And while we're on the, we may as well stick to the females for now, because I've got two more. We've got Aspen Ladd, who is 9-1. She did have a very quick loss to Jermaine Durandamy, but she's still great. I think I like watching her fight. I don't know why I like watching her fight, I just do. I think she's an interesting fight, and I'm looking forward to playing as her as well. And I hope I'm going to pronounce this right. Is it Weili, the strawweight champ? We saw what she done to Jessica Andrade. She's a beast. She had that absolute banger of a fight with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. We're missing a lot of champions in UFC 3, and it bugs me. It bugs me to no end. I can't wait to play as some of these. And we've got, how many more we got? We've got two more, light heavyweight and heavyweight. At the light heavyweight, obviously, we've got Dominic Reyes. He's a very close fight with John Jones. Some people said he won, some people said he lost, everyone pretty much agreed it was close. I think he is going to be a fucking freak in the game. I feel like if they do him justice, He's going to just have insane cardio. His wrestling's going to be good. I think he's just going to be... I think he's probably going to be one of the best light heavyweights to players in the division. I mean, would be behind him? Maybe John Jones. I can't really think of anyone else. Maybe Jan Blauwich. I think that's probably going to be about it. But other than that, Dominic Reyes is probably going to be one of the top guys. Maybe not the funnest of players, because like the funnest would probably be like Johnny Walker, who's another one I really want to see in the game. I can't wait for him to be in the game. Like, there's so many. I feel like UFC 2 had every fighter I wanted. UFC 3 at the start had every fighter I wanted, and I feel like because of the looking for a fight and the UFC signing so many new women, creating new female classes, and you know, so many new exciting champions, we're missing so many fighters, and some of the people that have come up are becoming our favourites, and we're like, shit, we need them in the game. Like, Petr Yan, Dominic Reyes, Aspen Ladd, Macy Barbar. I want to play as all these guys because I like watching their fights, and I want to be able to watch them fight and then go, okay, I'm going to replicate that in the game. The first person that comes to mind who does that is Marshall Mind. He fights how they would fight in real life, and I think that's such an awesome way to play the game. That, you know, he's inspired me to do that when I play. So when I play as Max Holloway, I keep constant pressure, I keep constant combos going, and you know, that's what Holloway does. And you know, that's just an example. And then one more is, I know this is going to be a bit mixed reviews on me saying, I hit my mic on me saying this, but Greg Hardy. He's very powerful, but the fans do have mixed feelings. Personally, I like watching him fight. You know, what he's done in the past, I don't agree with. Yes, you know, convicted or not, I don't agree with what he's done. You know, he looks like an angry dude anyways, but I just feel like he's a cool fighter, and I would like to see him rise up, you know, and he's got some good knockouts, you know, and he is a powerful guy, and I think like him coming into the heavyweight division in the game is going to add something new to, especially the wrestling side. You know, with him ground and pounding you in the game, it's going to be dangerous. He's great. I mean, it's dangerous in real life, let alone in a game. Someone picks him online. You know, he's not going to have the highest stats, but it's like, oh fuck, you know. I mean, he's only 6-2 in his professional career, but those 6 wins, you know, he shows that he's a beast, and he's gone the distance before, so his stamina's not that bad. I mean, yeah, he did have the situation with the inhaler, but you know, that is what it is. And these ones are now updated fighters. If I've missed anyone who isn't in the game at all and you guys want to see, then let me know in the comments. You know, I might have missed one of your favourite fighters. These are just my favourites in general. So we're going to jump into the updated ones. Obviously, everyone wants everyone to be updated. That's what we all want. But these are just some of my faves. I'm going to start off with 2 people that said it on Twitter. Blackout is his Twitter name. He said for Max Holloway, of course, I'd love to see an updated Max Holloway. I love Max in real life and in the game. And then Logan Taylor said Paul Felder. That'd be a good one, because I feel like Paul Felder's not done justice. He's a tough motherfucker, and he bangs. And I'd like to see people like him, Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier, all be updated and all have really good chins and really just good cardio, because they swing, they go for 5 rounds, and they bash the shit out of each other. And I think the game needs to do them justice. Obviously, we want to see an updated Jorge Masvidal. That's a given. Obviously, we want to see an updated Israel Adesanya. That's just a given, because he's the champion. More on champions, I want to see an updated Valentina Shevchenko and Amanda Nunes. I hope they up Amanda Nunes' power, and I hope they make Valentina Shevchenko quicker and give her those nasty kicks that we know she has. One that might surprise you is Charles Oliveira. Obviously, he is a jiu-jitsu artist, but after his fight with Kevin Lee, he's got rocks in those hands now. I don't know what he's been doing, but he hits hard now. He was hurting Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee looked hurt their whole fight. I feel like Oliveira was beating him up, and his brain wasn't with it after a few uppercuts and a few hooks. So I'd like to see an updated version of him, because I don't think they're going to do him justice, but I'd like to see an updated version of him, because then it'd be good to have someone who's almost like, who's got good ground game as Damian Maia, but, you know, a good stand-up, you know, a dangerous stand-up, over the ability to hurt you in the stand-up is what I'd like to be able to see. This is a biased one for me, and that's Brian Ortega, T-City. Yes, he did lose his last fight to Max Holloway, and he hasn't fought since, but I still hope they keep his stats up, because, you know, he knocked out Frankie Edgar, one of the only people, I think the first person to ever do that, to knock out Frankie Edgar. I'd like to see him then put his power up, and actually, it's hard because he done so well against like Cub Swanson with his standing submission and then knocking Frankie Edgar out, and then he went and got battered for 4 rounds by Holloway, so it's tough to put his stand up too high, but it is what it is. Next up is Sean O'Malley. Personally, I'm not a fan of him, but you can't deny his fighting style is exceptional. It's very interesting to watch, and I know that a lot of you guys love watching Sean O'Malley. Obviously, Usman is one. I obviously, everyone wants to see updated as well. Awesome fighter. A bit boring in the Jorge fight, but is what it is, and I think he's going to be so dangerous in that division. I think for a while, until I master ground game, I'm staying away from that welterweight division with him in there. He's a bastard. Next up is Aljamain Sterling. I was trying to think how to pronounce his first name. Aljamain Sterling. I feel like he's obviously improved a lot in the last few fights. He's not undefeated. He got knocked out by Marlon Moraes with that nasty knee as he went for a takedown. So they obviously can't give him too much, but I feel like going into this game, he's good. He's a title challenger. He could be coming up against Cody, or he could be coming up against Petr Yan, or he might be up against Jose Aldo next. We never know. It just depends on who he fights, but whoever he fights is, got to be careful, because he's a dangerous dude. I feel like he's getting better and better each fight. Next up, speaking of people getting better and better, England's own, or Suffolk's own, where I'm from, literally 20-minute drive from where I live, is where this man's originally from, Arnold Allen. You guys have got to know who he is. The dude's a savage. He comes back no matter what. He's undefeated at the minute. I believe he's undefeated inside the UFC. I don't think he's undefeated as a professional. I want to say he's had one loss, but I don't know. I'm going to quickly Google it. It's very unprofessional of me. I'm sorry. I should have preemptively looked, but I didn't. I got carried away. Yeah, he's 16-1. His one loss is by decision. If you didn't see, he beat Gilbert Melendez by decision, and then beat Nick Lentz by decision at the start of this year on the Blades Junior dos Santos card. He also beat Marwan Amirkhani. And then, he's beat quite a few people. I'm pretty sure it was against Mads Bernal. He was losing, and then he got a third-round submission. But he's done that a couple of times, gotten the third-round submission. But he's a bit of a savage. He's from Felixstowe, or technically Trimley. And he's a beast. I love watching him fight. And obviously, I living near where he was. Whenever he comes back, he sometimes trains in the same gym as me. So, unfortunately, I haven't met him yet. I really want to, but he trains in the same gym as me sometimes when he comes back from the States, which is very rare because his full training camp is out in the States anyways. But, I think his family are out here. But he's one who I can't wait to play as. I hope they do him justice. He's got an incredible gas tank. He's got a sturdy ass chin. His stand-up is exceptional. His ground game is really good. I feel like his ground game is really underrated as well. So I'm looking forward to playing as him, especially, represent in England, represent the Suffolk, Felixstowe, Trimley, all that. Representing that will be really good fun. And that's it for my list though, guys. That's everyone who I want to see updated, or fighters who aren't on the game yet. These are all fights I'm going to look forward to, and I'm going to be pretty much the ones I mentioned at the start who aren't on the game. I'm going to be playing as them straight away, banging them out. They're all the fighters I want to use. So if there's any fighters that I missed that aren't on the game yet, that you're like, bro, this is my favourite fighter, how have you not mentioned him? Make sure you leave it down below and we'll talk about it. Or if there's anyone you think they are garbage on UFC 3, but if you've seen them in real life, they're a beast. There's a lot like that that I feel like need to earn. Maybe not just because they're winning or losing, but just certain fighters need to have their chin up, or things like that, or their stand-up put up a little bit, or their grappling taken down a little bit, not given as much justice, because, I feel like they need to I think that they need to be really cruel with the stats, personally. But let me know who you think will be, updated properly, or who will be updated poorly out my list. And if there's anyone I missed, then make sure you let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.